Okay, so I'm staying with Celebrate Recovery because these things come to my mind. It has been at least 2 years, maybe even 3, since I have participated in Celebrate Recovery. But beyond the 2 or 3 years ago, I was blessed and so to participate in Celebrate Recovery for 4 years, consecutive years. Um, and it was just a very integral part of everything. And I just want to say too that besides the large group meetings, so Celebrate Recovery tends to we'll meet once a week, every week, except for nowadays while we're in quarantine, as we need to be. They meet the large group and then break down into the small groups. Then once you're in the Celebrate Recovery and you have figured out and like, yes, this is where I need to be and where I need to stay to grow, they have a more, I'm going to say like level up program that is the heart of their program, and it is called the STEP study. And the STEP study is more of a commitment. And yes, it does take more digging in and more time. It's a little bit more really looking at your issues. But it's the next step. So like if you're going to work out at the gym, you might start on the treadmill, and whatever, you start running, you may just do a few laps around the neighborhood. But once you get some of that muscle going, you're going to need more. And once you start digging, or when I started digging, God graciously allowed me to see that I had many layers of stuff. So STEP study, you actually meet with a smaller group of women or men who have signed up to take this next step in their journey, and there are leaders who are qualified and who've been through it themselves and have been doing it for a little while. They're facilitating and leading the group. And STEP study was, let me just say, when I first went to STEP study and there was a group of women, I did not want to be part of that group. I didn't like women. I didn't feel comfortable around women. I didn't know really how women acted. I didn't understand them. I felt I wasn't a connection. It was very hard going. I just didn't see any benefits of being around women or getting to know them or being in a relationship with them. I always felt like it was just a judgmental thing for me. Like there was a lot of judgment, and it was not coming from them. It was in me. Okay, so I went from not wanting to be around women at the beginning of my STEP study, and then at the end of the STEP study, I needed those relationships, and I totally saw the value in those women and what I needed to learn from them. It was a total turnaround. It was about a 10-month process. Some groups take shorter, like 8 months or maybe even less, but depending on how many women and how your group forms and bonds and how much they talk, and how much they share. So and I'm thinking there was something else. Oh yes. So you have sponsors in Celebrate Recovery, and the same with AA, and that's just a person who's just gone before you on the journey, and they can, in a loving and hopefully loving, non-judgmental, because they're also on their journey. They're not perfect, but they can help hold you accountable, and they can help cheer you and give you some wisdom and things on your journey. So that's called a sponsor. And for Celebrate Recovery, we get to pick a few choices. Not everyone's always available. Sometimes they already have people they're sponsoring. When I learned that I would have to find a sponsor, a woman to kind of buddy up with, I about quit. I was like, God, I cannot do this. Okay, I came to the meetings. I came. I saw. I ain't conquering this pairing up with an older woman no thank you, like a mom figure. That is not happening. I told God I was done. But about, a day later or whatever, I'm like, I have come this far, okay? And as hard as this is, God, if you want me to go further, then I imagine that you will be able to provide what I need to get over this hurdle of having like a mother figure or authority type person speaking into my life and me like being buddies with or whatever it meant to have a sponsor. Okay, so I at least just made myself open to it. And the first person I asked couldn't do it, and it took me a lot of courage, like everything in me, to even ask this person and approach them about it. I'm just loving this over here. But the second person, they were able to, and it was awesome. Like, she's awesome. She rocks. Yeah. I was saying I wasn't going to refer to people, but it has to be like the same sex. And she's awesome. Like, super cool. Again, just changing my ideas, God growing me and getting me out of that mindset of how I just didn't feel like women, didn't feel comfortable around them, didn't see any value in them, any benefit of how they could benefit my life. God just completely redid that in me. So I'm very thankful for the sponsor. So you can see that there's many layers and stuff built into Celebrate Recovery. And I'm sure with AA, I know they probably operate a little differently. And actually every group of CR, like whatever, different meetings and different parts, they will look a little different and act a little different because of their leaders. And that's a personality thing. And that's good too, because you can just choose which one. Like if you're going to a Zumba class, you like this instructor because they're crazy, or you like that instructor because their moves are slower and easier. So you choose who you want to go to. It's still Zumba, but you tailor it to yourself. So counselors, make a community, go to actual recovery meetings, small groups, going to your pastor, or making your own community that maybe you're going through a book. I do recommend having someone who is kind of a veteran in recovery, or even a counselor facilitating a group of people going into recovery, to keep it, honestly, to keep it sane, keep it on the up and up, keep the conversation, the dialogue on the up and up, because you are dealing with a group of people who are broken. So I highly recommend having someone facilitate your small group that is trained, or that at least has gone through a good program and is following a good solid program to lead you. And if it doesn't work out, like something goes sour or bad because you are dealing with broken people, don't give up, because there's other. How many times have you tried something and it's just it's not a perfect ideal situation? But don't give up on it, right? Because you can try another counselor, you can try another group, you can try a book, you can meet another person or another friend. It's still worth it. It's still trying. It's still better than isolating, going back into a world of depression, going back into addiction and cycling down. So give yourself permission and your group permission that they're not going to be ideal. They are human, and that's part of the journey.